Hi guys, it's Kelly here and I'm back with another video. Today's video is using brand new products from WPlus9. This is part of their May 2018 release, which is amazing. I just love every product in it. Like the cute ones are so super cute and the flowers are gorgeous. And you know me, I'm going directly for the flowers. So I just thought it would be fun to make this kind of brightly colored tropical card. That's what we're doing today. I'm working on Canson watercolor paper. I'm stamping in the WPlus9 black dye ink, which is waterproof. You can't use it with Copics, but I have found that when I do this particular technique with the Distress Oxide painted over it and then I heat set it, that it doesn't really smear with my Copics. So I don't want to say you can't use it ever, but you can't like stamp it and then color with your Copics. It will smear. So I'm using the little acetate trick here because I want to put some flowers in the top left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner. I almost never put them in the bottom left and the top right. I don't know why. I just naturally gravitate toward like the bottom right third of my card. I always do. Are you like that? Do you have something like that where you don't even think about it? That's just how it looks best to you? I will caution you though, using the little acetate trick, make sure you're watching those inky fingers because I do sometimes get black on my fingertips when I am pulling the stamp off of my Misty Door. So I stamped all of these twice because watercolor paper is textured and you don't always get a good impression. Once I was done with all of the stamping, I'm going to move on to the watercoloring. I feel like I'm talking like 600 miles a minute. When I dispatch and I have a, we call it like a hot call, when it's hitting the fan, okay, folks, that's what I'm talking about. Like we need police, fire, EMS, like we need them to move. I have a tendency to speak at a very high rate of speed because in my brain, I'm just like, get the information out, just get the information out. That's what, they need the information, get the information out of your mouth. And so one of my officers calls it speed patching, just because I speak so fast. And since I am rushing today, today's a little bit crazy for me. I feel like I'm doing the same thing. So I apologize if you're like, Kelly, you're increasing my heart rate just by your rate of speech. I feel like I should be running a marathon. You should not be. I'm just a little bit flustered. Back to this card, which is what you're here to watch anyway, right? So basically I'm doing the wet on dry technique. So wet paintbrush, dry paper, I'm putting the color where I want it. I wanted it to be a little bit more flowy. I didn't want such hard edges. So I went back in and just kind of outlined where I put the color with clean water and then touched the two. If you have a situation where it dries before you can do that, like I did with the pink, just put the clean water down, touch it to the area where the pink is, and then just drop a little bit more color where you already had the pink, and it will spread out. I chose only 4 colors here because I thought they would all kind of play nicely together. I would get maybe a little bit of blue, like blue-green, a little bit of a kind of a purple. I was correct. All of them played nice in the sandbox, and I love the way it came out. I feel like it looks like maybe some like outdoor lawn furniture that you would see in Florida, and that makes me happy because I love bright colors. But anyway, so why is this weekend just completely wild? This weekend is completely wild because it is my son's birthday party. Now, if you are a responsible adult who does things in a timely fashion, who plans out your timeline and manages to stick to it, you probably don't have this problem. My situation will not be relatable to you. Also, I'm a little bit jelly because I am not like that. I'm like fly by the seat of my pants. PPS, if you can hear the lawn, it's not a lawnmower, it's a weed whacker. If you can hear the weed whacker outside, that's because my husband, also in a panic, is frantically trying to make our yard look like this house hasn't been abandoned for the last 10 years. Okay? That's just the situation we're living in. I saw a meme once that said my housekeeping style can best be described as there appears to have been a struggle. Accurate. Okay? We were joking around at a wedding the other day, and somebody had said like something about someone coming in to rob them. And I was like, if someone came into my house to rob me, they would look around and been like, this place was already robbed. Like that's where I'm living. And so because we're going to have people over to our home, like I don't want them to think that this is a unsafe neighborhood where there's abandoned homes and people come in and rob you, because it's not. I just don't have my stuff together. I just don't have it together, folks. That's just me. Back to this card. Everything's dry now. It's all dry, and I'm just going to add very minimal Copic shading. And I know that you think I'm being funny when I say minimal Copic shading, because I don't know what minimal is, but you're wrong. You are wrong, because I only added one color to each one of my items, and I really didn't even pay that much attention to where I was adding it. I just wanted something that was going to set it apart from the background, and so that's why I'm adding a little bit of that bolder color. But really, I just used one color for each thing. It was enough to create that separation I was looking for, and then I called it good, and I moved on with the rest of my life because I have to clean this house. I still have to go to the grocery store. I have to finish cleaning my kitchen and my family room. I need to make cupcakes. What else? There's something else in there I'm supposed to be doing. Nah, I'll probably remember it at the 11th hour because that's my style. But anyway, so if you can relate, I would appreciate knowing that I am not alone, that I'm not alone in this. Frequently I see, like in different craft groups and things like that, where people will talk about their craft room and how it's just like a hot mess. My craft room is a hot mess. It's a total disaster. I have like a walkway. And I can't even, like, there's no real excuse for it. I don't have anywhere to put anything, but it's because I'm not organized to begin with. I hired an organizer once, but then she needed me to be here to organize with her, which makes perfectly good sense, but I don't have any time to be here and organize with her. If I had time to be here and organize with her, I'd have organized it myself. Know what I'm saying? So I'm using a C3, which is a very light gray, just to add a little bit of a drop shadow and again create that separation between my images and the background. Originally, I was going to stamp this. This is the Fierce and Fabulous, which I just love. Like, doesn't that just make you smile? Like, even just saying it makes me smile. So it says, you are fierce, fabulous, amazing. And just in case you didn't know that, in fact, you are. Here's your daily reminder that you are fierce, fabulous, and amazing. I promise you. And so originally I stamped it, and you can see at the top there where it says you are fierce, which is one of the best parts of the sentiment. I totally want you to be able to read it. It's like illegible. So I decided I'm going to outline it with a white gel pen. It's usually my go-to for a 1-layer card. And so I did the U portion of it, and then I nixed it. Didn't like it. Moving on to option number 2. Option number 2 is I'm going to stamp this on some black Simon Says Stamp cardstock. And basically, I'm only worried about the top of the sentiment and the bottom of the sentiment. I'm not worried about the fabulous part because it gave me an excuse to use that. I was just going to call it fabulous. That fabulous die, that's actually the name of it. It's, I love it. I love that whole look that's going on right now in the craft industry where the sentiments are kind of stacked and it's very different. Just totally think it's a super cool look. But anyway, you can see the center isn't stamped, and it's because I didn't put any pressure there. That's not the stamp. That's just the situation that we are in right now. I'm going to use white Simon Says Stamp embossing powder, and I'm going to heat set that until it is nice and smooth and melted. And then I'm going to take the top portion of the sentiment and the bottom portion of the sentiment, and I'm going to cut them into labels. I thought, wouldn't it be fun, since I'm totally digging this picked raspberry, to cut the letters out of a bright pink, which is what I did. But I didn't like the way it looked with the labels. So then I cut it out of black. And that was good, but I just felt like it needed a little extra something. So here's what I did, which I'm telling you I loved. I adhered them together slightly off center so that the pink creates a drop shadow on the letters. It's kind of hard to see in the video because you're looking at it directly down. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a link into my blog below where there's still shots. Go look at those and you can really see the pink and it looks just like super cool. So basically when I pop them all up on foam tape, you know how I feel about this, these little teeny tiny foam tape pieces, they're the bane of my existence, but they look so beautiful. I have to keep using them. They're witchcraft. I don't like it. But I adhered them with the pink centered on the letters that were already stamped. Once those were all done, I popped the other 2 portions of it up on some foam tape and then adhered those as well. It felt a little empty in the middle because I had like these bold banners at the top and the bottom. And so I filled those in with some clear droplets from Pretty Pink Posh. I glittered up this Fabulous in the center because glitter should be on everything. And then I almost walked away from it without putting glitter on my hibiscus flowers, which was some kind of weird card blasphemy. So I did go back and put the glitter on those flowers using glossy accents to adhere down those droplets. And then that's pretty much going to be the whole card. So if you have not seen this whole release, the cute stamps are hysterical and totally adorable. The flowers are just fantastic. I would highly recommend you going over to check it out. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.